to be romanced. But that isn't the only thing we want. Women desire to be romanced, but women also desire to be essential, to be vital, to play actually an irreplaceable role in a heroic adventure, a role that nobody else can play but us. When I was young, I was more aware of this desire, and I used to just love watching old World War II movies on our big fat television. And I dreamed that when I grew up, maybe like 12 years old, I would braid my hair and I would stick it up underneath my helmet and I would be able to join in. And it wasn't that I wanted to be a part of a war. It was that I wanted to be a part of something valiant, something heroic. Didn't you? Yeah, you did. See, there is something fierce, valiant, and noble in the heart of every woman. And if you doubt it, insult her best friend. Or if you really want to take your life in your hands, insult her child. But you better be ready to run. Oh, there is something valiant there. There is a strength given to you by God as a woman on behalf of others. And there's something in the heart of a woman that wilts like flowers without water if we believe ourselves to be unimportant, easily replaced. A friend of my husband's actually, told him that in her marriage, she felt like a household appliance. You know, I know what she meant. In my own moments of despair, I felt like that. Like my whole reason for living was to make sandwiches and wash underwear. Like that was it. Especially in my 30s. That decade, I call it the wiping decade. Because I was always wiping something. You know, countertops, noses, bottoms, not with the same cloth, but I was wiping something. And sometimes I just felt like a walking napkin. Not an irreplaceable woman. See, so much of what we do as women can actually feel like that. And whether you work full-time in the home or full-time outside of the home or some creative gymnastics of both, much of what we do as women is unseen by the world. We don't get the accolades of the human race. You don't get an award for doing your 100,000th load of laundry. Woo! I don't know about you, or my family expected to eat dinner. Like every night. And we can feel like it's unimportant. Like nobody sees, but you know what? God sees. He sees you. And he actually likes unseen places. He sees every act of sacrifice that you have ever made. He loves secret, small places. He actually does his best work there. In the home, in the womb, and in the heart. When my youngest was in kindergarten, finally, my husband was teaching a class on Christian worldview. And I asked if I could audit the class, and I could. So I was going to go spend time with grown-ups. Once he was taken to school, I would go to the class, and I was so excited. I was so excited. I went and I bought a new notebook, and I bought a pen, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to be with adults and learn things and use big words and talk and stuff. So I'm going. So the morning comes. It's the first morning of the class, and my middle son, Blaine, wakes up with this science experiment coming out of his nose. And isn't that just the way? And he said, "Hey, Blaine, how about if I make a little bed for you on the floor next to me in the class? We could be in the back. It'd be really comfortable. I'll bring your blanket. I'll bring your pillow." He's just like the kindest heart. And he says, "Sure, Mom. Okay. Yeah, I'll go." So I show up. They're all college students. And the mom with her kid and the bag and the sleeping bag and the pillow in the back of the room. And I'm ready to take notes. And my husband's maybe teaching for 3 minutes when I hear this terrible noise. And I look over and it's Blaine, and he's starting to throw up in the middle of the class. So I grab him, trying to do what every mother does. You know, you're trying to catch it as you're running and trying to find the bathroom, and I don't know where it is. And by the time we get there, he's done, and we've left quite the trail. I got back to the class, and they were taking a break. Imagine. So, cleaned him up, went home, took care of my son. Bad mommy. So the next week, Blaine's well. Everybody's well, except for me, but what does that matter, right? I don't care. So I have this cough. I go to the class. I'm in the back of the room. I have my notebook, and I start coughing. And you know how it is. When you can't cough, how you cough. I start coughing so hard I had to leave the room. And I'm in this little side waiting area coughing my guts out. It literally takes me 15 minutes to get control of my coughing. But I do. And I'm ready. And I'm going to go back in the room. And just then this colleague of my husband's comes in. Hey, Stace, how are you? Oh, I'm good. I'm auditing the class. When right at that moment, I looked down and I dropped a sock. A sock came out of the inside of my dress. Right in front of this man. I'm fine. I'm just taking... Yeah, no! Guess who went home? I went home. And I went home blasting myself. And I was telling myself 2 lies. Your life as a stay-at-home mother is not anywhere near as important or valuable as basically any other woman's on the planet Earth. And 2, you're an idiot for wanting more. Both are lies. Both are lies. It's actually good to want more. And your life is valuable, whatever your stage of life, whether you're single or married or divorced, whether you have young children at home or they're off at college, whatever your stage of life, oh, may God open your eyes to see your value. And my prayer is that by the end of our time together, you know that you have an irreplaceable role. And dare I say, you even know what it is. Because a woman doesn't come alive being merely useful, like an electric toothbrush or something. We're meant to be needed, essential, irreplaceable. It is for such that we were made, and it is there in that desire. This is not a selfish desire, gals. This is where we bear the image of God. Does he want to be irreplaceable in your life? Does he want to be essential to you? Does he want to be center? Or does he just want to be in the sidelines? I'll be over here if you need me. No. He wants to be irreplaceable. So do we. So do you. Lisa.